You know, it's crazy. Somebody sent me this video this morning. I'm actually in Scottsdale, Arizona. I went to Hi-Fi last week, and just listening to this video, it just reminds you how entitled so many women feel. They feel entitled to your attention, entitled to your money, but you're not supposed to feel any entitlement towards her body or towards her physically. So I don't understand the expectation part. We should not expect anything from women. So I feel women should not expect anything from us men. You know, the crazy part is I see chicks like her all the time, and they do come to Scottsdale sometimes, not in mass numbers. They more so go downtown because they say this exact thing. The guys in Scottsdale, these women are not their preference. But that's how it goes. Men go to where the women they like are. And if you now are would white chicks feel comfortable going to downtown Phoenix? No, because they would be outnumbered, and the men down there, their preference is going to be ethnic urban women. So when women who are urban come to Scottsdale, they're literally barking up the wrong tree. There's plenty of guys that will go for her, but see, women like a challenge. They want the men that don't want them, and then they complain about it, which I don't understand. But let's go ahead and just listen to her video for a second, so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about, shall we?
So I just want to quickly do a story time because I get asked this question a lot living here in Phoenix. Is the dating scene as effed up it is for black women? Yes and no. I can say from my experience, dating black men out here are is kind of complicated. Because the good ones everybody wants. And they have options and they're gonna explore those options as they should. They're single. I can say my first week here, I definitely experienced a black man being basically racist to his own kind. We were in Oasis, me and my friends. Three of my friends were of darker skin tone, and then me and my other friend were of my complexion. We get approached by this guy. Southern hospitality, we all Southern girls. So we invite him to sit at the table. He's talking. We're playing Uno. He's buying drinks. He's like, hey, we have a table at Casamigos. You guys want to come? All right, cool. We leave. We go to Casamigos. We're sitting at the section. His friend of my complexion, which was a black man, he comes to the table in looks of disgust. I'm sitting beside the guy who invites us, and I'm just like, what's his problem? He's like, I don't know. So he comes over to him and he's like, hey, yo, bro, what the fuck? And so I'm ear hustling at this point because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck as well. So he goes, bro, it's too many of them. It's five of us. And if you know Casamigos sections on that balcony part, then you know that they're pretty big.
Well, first things first, it sounds like he brought you guys to Casa and they were joining another person's table. So that means that other person was already in there, had already paid, and this was their section and he was joining it. Now, if they're friends already, he knew the rules. Everyone knows the rules. You Everyone has their own preference. That's not someone being racist. People can have what they like. If these women went around and said, "Oh, I only date dark-skinned black men, I don't like light-skinned black men," nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would accuse them of racism. Nobody would feel entitled to their attention or for these women to let him come home with her just to prove a point. This double standard has to stop. If it's your body, your choice as a woman, as a man, it's my wallet, my choice. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is entitled to free sections, free access, and free liquor. Liquor costs money. If you're in Old Town Scottsdale, budget it out like this: every drink is $20, give or take a buck or two for the tip. Every drink is $20. You have five women with you. We don't know, and unless we know what these groups of girls look like. It'll be two cute ones, three big mamas. And then before they show up, if you ask them, hey, what do your friends look like? Oh, all my friends are beautiful. Oh, my friends are baddies. And you're like, I know you're lying, because pretty girls don't really hang out with pretty girls, not from that group. So you always got to pre screen them and ask them for pictures. So I'll be I'll be damned if I order a section, pay my money, and my boy tells me he has some chick showing up, and then he shows up with 2 out of 5 that are cute, and the other 3, they're all sitting there expecting access to be in my section, and they're expecting free alcohol covered on my tab. But it's not going to be aesthetically pleasing for me to look at. They're not going to be women that I want to get with or sleep with. I'll be damned. They will have to get up out of my section. They will have to go to the bar. I like what I like. No one's entitled to anything free and no one's entitled to access. That's nothing to do with racism. It's pure preference. And look at what happens when you are look at the women who get on the internet and want to shame you. They're sisters. Look who gets on the internet and want to complain. Anybody says something they don't like, it's racist, and literally it's always something negative complaining. Why would you want people like that around you? Why would you want them in your section so they can try to write something bad about you or say something negative? Just keep them away. So if I had a friend who showed up and he brought a bunch, I'd be pissed off too. If that's what I was looking for, I would go to downtown Phoenix. I would go to the South Side. I would not come to Scottsdale. That is the opposite. That is not my target demographic if I'm in Scottsdale. Maybe I would go to Chandler. Maybe I'd go to Westgate. Wouldn't go to Scottsdale.
So, with that being said, he's like, what the fuck? It's too many of them and they're not even white.
I'll be honest, Scottsdale is expensive. If you're paying $1,000, $2,000 for overpriced liquor in a section, if the white girls that you meet in Arizona who are always friendly, always nice, always bubbly and fun, even if they're fake, they're bubbly, they're fun, and they pretend they like you. If that's your preference and that's what you want to see for your money, if that's going to make you feel like you got your dollar's worth, then nobody, and I mean nobody, can tell you nothing different. You should have what you want since you're the one paying for it. It's at your expense. You should be able to have whatever you want. You should not have to settle, and you should not have to dance around and walk on eggshells to make a bunch of women who are strangers happy. You're not sleeping with none of these women. Therefore, you don't owe them shit. If I only want white girls at my table, it's my table. I paid for it. You can go get your own section. You can put a fucking Black Panther fist on the front of it and whatever. You can do whatever you want. That has nothing to do with me. My preference is my preference. But see, it comes from life experience. I've only been in Arizona for a few months. I used to live here years ago, but I've only been here for a few months. The only times I've seen fights in the club, it was sisters grabbing white or Mexican girls' hair, mad at them because they were getting more attention than them. Literally watched it happen several times. Men, we are trying to have a good time. We don't want to see no drama. We don't want to see fights. We don't want to see girls with attitudes. So think about it. If we're having an after party, you can't even invite the sisters, because as soon as they get there, they're just looking at all the other girls who are not Black and thinking to themselves and saying it out loud, oh, you must like white girls. Oh, and now here all the dudes are like, bro, we're trying to talk to women and have a good time in peace. We're not trying to worry about all the race stuff. That race stuff is only amongst them. Nobody else is bringing it up. Just them. And it's like they kind of use it to whoop you with it, to whoop you into line and manipulate you into changing your own preference. No. The only solution is just keep them away from you. Why do you think we don't go to downtown? Why do you think we don't go to the South Side? Why do you think we don't drive to Westgate? We're trying to avoid people that life experience have taught us were problematic for us. There's plenty of Black dudes who love Black women. They love them down, but they're not married to one. They're not married to one. They might have a kid, or they might have an accidental kid here and there, but they never marry a Black woman, but they swear they love them. Look, more power to you. You can have them. You have a monopoly. Good for you. But that doesn't mean the rest of us have to indulge. If men don't want to, they don't have to. And if I don't want to spend my money on something I don't want, how can you blame me? You can't. And you can't shame me into submission. That's just not going to work. But it's just the optics to get on here and pretend like it's the club or it's the guys. Never once is she considering it's her character. It's her attitude. It's her friends. Maybe they're not cute. Everything is somebody else's fault. That lack of accountability is too much. That's all. That's a deal breaker right there automatically. Get out my section.
I'm sorry. What? For you to be a black man and for you to come out your mouth and say some shit like that, it took everything for me not to cuss his ass out from A to Z.
The fact that you wanted to cuss him out, you proved his point. That's why he didn't want you in his section. The fact that you were sitting there having a fantasy about doing that, because all that's going to happen is this. You're going to make a scene. He's going to tell security to kick you the fuck out, you and all your friends. Y'all going to have to go get some pizza. Then you're going to stand around. You're going to notice that no guys are talking to you. And then you're going to be disgruntled and go home in defeat. And then you're going to have to call one of them hood dudes who you pretend that you're leaving alone and let him come over there and probably get you pregnant at 4 a.m. Whatever it is, keep it away from us. We don't want to deal with it. Hey, look, you have at it. But the fact that you were sitting there and you were debating on choosing violence or not, that already means you don't qualify. Men are choosing peace nowadays. We don't want to deal with this. That's why we have this thing called MGTOW, men going their own way. We're going to different women. We're no longer entitled to you. You know, every group of women has men to choose from and vice versa. But when you're a brother, when you're a nigga, you can leave black women alone. And there's 190 other countries full of women from other racial backgrounds who love you. They're not sitting there contemplating cussing you out. They don't feel entitled to have access to you just because of how you look. What kind of ignorant shit is that? Well, because I'm black, I should talk to a black. What the fuck? How does that make any sense? I'm not trying to do that. Wouldn't that be inbreeding anyway? When you guys talk about, well, your mom looks a certain way. Why would he want to sleep with his mom? That's creepy and it's cringe and it's extra weird. Stop using that as an argument.
Because what? So for me, I've did my research on this man. And yes, that is how he operates. He dates nothing but, white tea women. And that is his preference.
She did her research on a man she wanted to cuss out. She did her research. She spent her valuable time looking up a man who wants nothing to do with her. Again, these women like a challenge. They want what they cannot have. The fact that this man doesn't like her and doesn't want her turned her on. And now look at her doing her research about him. Why do you, bro, if a man say doesn't want you, you shouldn't even be thinking about him. There's a million men who probably do want you, but you're not doing any research on them. You're only worried about that one guy who turned you down and said, no, you don't qualify. You're not my type. But when I tell you women are a glutton for punishment, I'm not lying. They literally will tell you, that's the difference between me and other people. I listen to women. I hear what they're saying. I understand what they're saying. You got to read between the lines sometimes. Or in places like this, they make it clear. It's clear as day.
I do not care. But what I do care is how the fact you just disrespected me and my friends like we was the bottom of the barrel.
In Arizona, there is nobody beneath you. You are at the bottom. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. There's nobody. If you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and there's every ethnicity and every group, there is not one group that men are going to say, I will choose the black women over this one group. There is nobody. So technically, on the hierarchy in the scale, yeah, you guys would be at the bottom. And people might lie to you and say that's not true. They're lying. I know this because I go to all the different clubs. I see what happens. And I'll be honest, if I went out to the dance floor and I met a sister and she had a few friends with them that were all same black ethnicity, and I brought them back to the table, every dude at the table would look at me crazy because they'll be like, that defeats the purpose of being in Scottsdale. If that's your preference, go to Westgate, go to the South Side, go to downtown Phoenix. But if you're in Scottsdale, it's because you like the women of Scottsdale. If you like sisters, you like the women of the South Side. You like the women of downtown. You have to go where they're at. This defeats the purpose of paying the extra prices and the high premiums of being in Scottsdale. It would literally defeat the point. And I've had people look at me crazy when I met a sister, but then I don't realize she's with 3 wildebeests. And here they are. She wants to come into the section, wants to bring her friend and her sister. And I'm like, nah. And honestly, you'll be surprised. We call security and be like, hey, look, I was talking to her. All of a sudden, these three other girls just wander into the section and start hanging out. We don't want to get into a confrontation. So we send somebody to go tell security to come get these 3, 4 girls the fuck out of the section. They don't fit the look. You don't want to deal with that. If you're paying for it, you have the choice. Don't ever let nobody make it seem like you owe them something. I don't owe you free drinks. I don't owe you access. Go get your own or go do your own thing. You don't go get your own section. You guys are bosses now, right? You guys are independent. You don't need a man. Go get your own shit, but don't expect to come over here and be covered. That's out.
Like all college degree women, all career path women, entrepreneurs in the group, okay? Getting to our own bag in the group.
Get to your own, fuck getting to your own bag. Get to your own section. Go to your own section. Go pay your money. Go buy your own liquor. Do not come over here expecting everything to be free. We're not paying for your stuff. And we don't even want you sitting here. Go sit where you're wanted, not where you're tolerated. Go sit in your own section. Go where you go find some other guys to pay for it. And if you can't find nobody to pay for it, then that means you're at the bottom, and go pay for your own and go sit by yourself. Do not come over here being entitled. Nobody has to deal with you. Our wallet, our choice.
All beautiful Black women, no drama, none of those things. And you had the
Bro, your drama right now.
audacity. So that was my first experience. And then what didn't make it better was that his homeboy who invited us, which is embarrassing now because we have to leave the section because we are getting kicked out because we are Black.
No, you're getting kicked out because you are not the women we want in the section. Think about it. If 4 burly, blonde Nordic chicks showed up and walked into the section, they'd get kicked out too. See, the thing is, we only want the best looking women of the best looking women. We only want the best of whatever our preference is. You might have a thing for women that are from Cambodia, and you can have some bomb blonde white bitches, and you'll be like, you know what? Get these white girls out. Bring the Cambodians here now. Bring the Filipinos here now. It's up to the man. You know, people don't notice about guys. You know, sometimes you and your friends, you guys have a night. So you'll say, look, tonight we're only talking to Black chicks. Tomorrow night, we're only going to talk to Spanish chicks. The night after, we're only going to talk to white chicks. The night after that, we only talk to Asian chicks. And we have these things between guys where that'll be our preference for the night. And those are the only girls you're going to see us talk to and bring to our sections and buy drinks for. We have that luxury because we're the ones paying for it. See, I'm not worried about these women's experience. That's nothing to do with me. I'm worried about myself and my personal experience. My fun is what I'm responsible for. And if for the night it's entertaining for me to talk to certain women and it's a challenge, it gets me out of my comfort zone. If me and my boys want to do that, it's our choice. Now, we're not asking these women to buy us drinks, so we don't owe them nothing. They don't owe us anything. We're not asking them to go home with us. Just don't talk to us. Why is that so hard? Just leave us alone. Don't talk to us.
The struggle, okay? He didn't say shit other than, let me take y'all to the bar because he tripping. He got people coming. He doesn't feel like it's enough room, so you lie because you act like I didn't hear what was sitting right beside me. And you tried to play it off. No, sweetie. When I said, no, that's not what he said. So don't try to sit here and lie to me. He was like, he just be tripping. That's just his I don't give a fuck what his preference is. Okay? Because we wasn't checking for him. Wasn't nobody in this section checking for him. We didn't even know he existed until we came to the table. Okay?
You weren't checking for him, but you want to sit at his table. Lady, be for real and go to hell. And I'm not saying this go to hell because I don't know you as a person. I'm saying just in general, go to hell. It's not you. You're not the only woman with this entitlement. Bro, listen, on nights when on the days that we say, look, we're only talking to Spanish women tonight, I've had white girls get attitudes because we kicked them out of the section. It happens. Okay, because we have the choice. We're the ones paying for everything. We can do whatever we want. And if we don't want certain people around us, we don't have to. That's the beauty of it. We don't have to settle. We work so that we can have choices. We work so we can afford options. We don't have to just take what we can get. So it's not just you. All these women feel entitled. All these women want free shit. And guess what? They get humbled when you tell her, oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, baby, look, the bar is over there. Oh, I can't get a shot. No, no, I'm sorry. This is a private party. And we have to tell women this every single time. It just that's how it goes. We are the ones paying for it. You're not paying. And where this entitlement comes from, where you think men owe you money and access to everything just because they want to sleep. We don't even want to sleep with y'all. We don't. We have the women we want already. We have access to who we want. If we wanted y'all, we'd have y'all there. You got to learn how to take rejection better. Men, we've been getting rejected our whole lives. We've been getting rejected since third grade. Okay. Nobody is crying for us. And if now we're equals, we're going to need you guys to toughen up a little bit. Okay. You know, that thick, what's it called? Thicken, you need your thicker skin. Okay. Don't expect to just, everybody's going to just kiss your ass. Everybody's not trying to sleep with you. So because we don't want to sleep with you, we're going to treat you different. We're going to treat you like we would a man. We're not trying to sleep with men. Men don't get free drinks. Same thing goes for women who we don't want to sleep with. You have to understand that.
And even then, wasn't nobody checking for him. So that was my first experience. And from that moment on, I kind of knew where I was and I moved accordingly. Um, Arizona is a little different. A lot of these black men out here were raised around everything but us. So that's what they used to. That's fine.
Well, no, that means that men seen all the different types of women plus black women. And through life experience, they said, you know what? I've seen the results. I've seen the behavior. I don't like that group. But then there's some dudes who only like that group. Hey, bro, you can have them. Every man has a right to have his own choice of who he wants to sleep with. Women cannot control that by shaming you. Now, the only type of women I'm buying drinks for and I'm paying for stuff for are women I'm hoping to sleep with. I'm not just giving out random stuff to strangers. I'm not just offering to be nice to just every random person. That's weird. No, no, hell no. What, just because you're a woman, I'm supposed to, I owe you something? No, what, how much sense does that make? You're not my woman. The women who I'm trying to be with, the women who I like, that's who are going to get favor from me. That's who's going to get a man's attention. That's who he's going to share his resources with. Only the women he wants, not just the women who want him or want his resources. Men are having to tighten up. I'll be honest, bro. The clubs are dying anyway. Every time I go out to the club, I only see the same 15 men, but I see brand new women, hundreds of them every single night. Brand new women turning 21, brand new women who their birthday, they're turning 23, first time in the club. Especially if you're in Arizona, this is a tourist town. So everybody's coming here from all these different states. We have so much variety in Arizona. We have so much talent. It makes no sense. These women, even if they think they're good looking, there's women who are 1,000 times better looking, who are literally trying to get into the same access that you are. You cannot even compete with these women. You're not even in the same sport, let alone the same ballpark. You're not even in the same league at all. You're not going to be able to compete with them. You're older than them. You're from a different background. You're violent in some aspects. You want to cuss men out. Bro, these are soft, gentle, pretty women. There's nothing you can do. They're going to get chose over you 100% of the time. And that's why they go to Scottsdale and you go to other parts of the city. These groups of women don't even need to mix with each other because of the animosity. I've seen you guys attack them. You women attack these other women. We can't have that. We need peace and fun and happiness. And that's why a lot of men have just walked away from them. And you see more and more of these videos coming up with the same complaint, but because all the men are gone. The men have left these women alone. That's why these women are at this big age, single. They're baby mamas, but the dudes don't. The reason he didn't really like her, that's how you can tell. He only gave her one kid. See, when a man really likes you, he gives you more than one kid because he wants his kid to have a sibling. But you know it was an accident when you only get one from him. So you can tell a lot of the men have just left these women alone. They've left them. There's a reason behind it. You're not just leaving good women because good people are hard to find. They're leaving these women alone for a reason, and these women are trying to pretend that it's race based and nothing based on their character, and they're wrong. They're absolutely wrong.
fine. That's your preference. Just don't disrespect me with that. So it's just like, and on top of that, my parents are interracial, so I don't give a damn about interracial dating. That I'll go date a white man. I don't care. I love who love me. Simple and plain. But that was my first experience. And so when people say like, oh, black men don't like black women in Arizona, it's not all of them. It's a lot, but it's not all of them. And I respect you for your preference as long as you don't disrespect me. So that's
One thing we got to talk about too, respect is not given because you're a woman or because of how you look. Respect is something earned. Have you earned the respect of these men? Then don't expect nothing from them. And nobody, it's either you respect them or you disrespect. No, no, no. How about we just stay neutral? You just don't talk to me. Don't come around me. That way I can't respect you or disrespect you, but I don't owe you respect. I don't know you. You haven't earned anything from me. And you just showing up and thinking your presence and the fact that you were born 30 something years ago means I should respect you is fucking insane. That's not how it works. You've earned nothing from me. So you can't expect anything from me, which includes respect.
just my experience. So I can't say yes and I can't say no. But if you are coming here thinking that you're going to find a family and you want your man to be a king and you're like, oh yes, a lot of black people out here. It is a lot of black people out here. They are spread out, but they also have options and they're going to explore those options. I think if you're going to come here to for work, focus on work. If you're coming here to turn up, focus on turning up and take your ass home. Like that's just how I feel. That is my experience. I stick to myself. I created my small group and that is it. But you're going to run into those ones. And the best thing I can suggest you do is ignore them because they're not going to change. So let them be happy with what their preference is. Because I'm happy with what my preference is, and that is not to be around them.
Hey, you know what? That last part is real talk. I mean, you got to learn to take rejection and you got to learn how to behave when you find out a man doesn't want to sleep with you. It's not just black women, it's women in general. Once a man makes it known that he's not interested in a woman sexually, she loses all her power. She loses every bit of leverage she had over him. The only thing she could have really just held back from that man is access to her body. The only thing women control access to is to sex. Men, we control access to finances, we control access to um fun if you want to be around us. We control access to marriage. We control access to everything. The only one thing women have control over that they can use to manipulate men is access to sex. But once you take sex off the table and you don't want that from her, she has nothing. She has nothing. And then you see them break down. Then she starts to have to stand back and say, well, maybe I need to work on my attitude. Maybe I need to work on my character. And then I see a lot of black women making videos, but they're in their late 40s. And now they're like, look, I'm going to be a good woman. I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to be happy just to come home and sweet. Lady, there's not no man that's successful, has his own house. It's like, you know what would look good in here? A 50-year-old baby mama that has kids by other men that shot her club up. I'm going to put her in this kitchen to cook and clean. Instead of a fresh little 23-year-old, beautiful little nice, sweet woman, let me get this old washed. Why would anybody even choose you over something? You cannot compete. See, in her head, she's still just as good as that girl that's 24. But women are delusional and women lie to themselves. So we understand that about women. Women need to understand that about us. It's our wallet, our choice. Like and subscribe, share the video. Let me know if you agree or disagree. If you've ever been to Arizona, let me know. And if you agree with my synopsis, I'd appreciate it. But it's not just Arizona. I'm watching a video. Girls are in LA talking about, black girls in LA talking about, they won't let us in these clubs in Hollywood. It's because the men that are spending the money are telling the promoters and telling the DJs and security, don't let them in. We only want to see these other women. We're the ones paying the money. If you bring too many of these girls in, I'm shutting down my tab. I'm not buying no more and I'm going somewhere else. We like what we like. Through life experience and social media, we can glimpse into all the different groups of women. And we've all figured out that there are certain women we don't want around us because it's too risky. You can't be mad at us for that. So look, I'll be back on with another topic in about 20 minutes. I'll see you guys again shortly. The single boyfriend, Rico. Cheers.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.